Hi, are you looking for promotion to a leadership position in education? Then you'll want to know how to get invited to interview. And you'll need to know how to excel at the interview activities so you're the one they're going to offer that job to. My name is Paul. As an executive head, I've recruited hundreds of senior leaders. I'm going to give you an insight into the selection process from a head teacher's perspective. So you'll get some great tips on how to create an application that gets you invited to interview. And I'll show you how to excel at the interview process so you've got a great chance of getting a job offer. There are 5 steps you can follow that will give you a great chance of getting that leadership position. In the first step, you have to realise that job hunting requires a strategic approach. And by that, I mean you've got to start planning your application well in advance of that job being advertised. And you've got to practice the interview activities so you become more skilled at them well before you go for an interview. In step 2, make sure you've got everything on your CV that a head teacher is looking for. First, explain that you're an excellent teacher and support this with assessment data that shows your students make excellent progress. Second, describe the teams you lead and explain the impact they have on student progress. And third, have a paragraph about your professional development and describe how you've developed as a leader and the impact this has had on your practice. In step 3, find the right jobs to apply for. Schools send out a list of essential and desirable criteria with the job advert. If you don't meet all of the essential criteria, don't waste time applying for that job because they won't invite you to interview. The more of the desirable criteria you meet, the better chance you've got of getting that job. In step 4, create a job application that gets you invited to interview. To do this, make sure you meet all of the essential criteria and as many of the desirable criteria as you can. Start with the first paragraph that explains you've looked at all of the information the school has sent out and that you think this is an ideal job for you. And then the rest of your application should back this up. In step 5, prepare for the interview activities. Find out what the common questions are and design responses that suit you. Practice data analysis tasks and in-tray activities so that you become very skillful at them. Student panels and staff panels are very common, so think of the type of questions they might ask you. You might be asked to take an assembly, or you might be asked to observe a lesson and give feedback. For all of these activities, if you plan thoroughly, you're going to give yourself a really strong chance of getting that job offer. Many candidates don't do themselves justice and perform badly at interview. To avoid this happening to you, I've put a workshop together. This will give you some great tips on how to create your application so that you get invited to interview. It also describes what head teachers are looking for when you are doing the interview activities. Click the link below, it takes you straight to the workshop. Competition for leadership positions is really strong. I'll get 40, 50, maybe 60 applications for one job. So you've got to make sure your application really stands out. The information in the workshop could be the difference between you applying for job after job without success or being offered a great leadership position. Just click the link below, it takes you straight to the workshop.